Peace, everyone. Welcome back to Giganomics. If you're building a senior errand business or a local carrier business or any kind of delivery business with a car, a SUV, or a cargo van, this video is for you. Pricing is the reason that most people never turn this into real money. And it's not because they don't want to drive, and it's not because they can't find clients, but because they keep guessing. And guessing, it can feel harmless until you do 3 jobs, your gas tank is on empty, your whole day is gone, and you sitting there like, I got paid, but why do I still feel broke? Today, I'm not giving you motivation. I'm giving you a pricing system you could use in any structure. I'm gonna show you how to price senior errands, senior transportation to doctor's appointments, shopping runs, local deliveries, and even cargo van deliveries. And I'm gonna give you 10 real examples that you could copy and paste. By the end of this video, you're gonna have your pricing written down, your rules written down, and the confidence to sell your price without sounding unsure. Let's jump into it. Let me tell you why pricing makes people nervous. Because when you don't have a system, you basically asking customers to decide your worth. And that's how you start negotiating against yourself. You hear yourself saying stuff like, whatever you think is fair, just pay me when you can, or don't worry about it. And now you train the client that you don't even respect your own time. Price and confidence, that don't come from experience. That come from having a structure. When you got a pricing structure, you're not being pushy, you're being organized. And the clients, they actually relax when they hear a person that sound like they know what they're doing and who's done this before. So we're gonna build your structure right now. All right, so open up your note apps. This is your pricing foundation. I call it the 3-part price. Every job that you quote, it should include 1, your base, what it costs for you to show up and start. 2, the time, what it costs if the job has waiting, shopping, or extra stops. 3, the distance, what it costs if the job pushes beyond your local zone. Most beginners, they only charge for the delivery. Your competitors in the competition, they charge for the entire job. So this is your minimum. This will protect you from the quick could you do me a favor trap. If you're using a car or SUV, your base should usually land in between $25 to $45 an hour, just depending on your city. If you're using a cargo van, your base usually lands in between $75 to $125, just depending on the city and also the load. Your base exists because every job, it includes you pulling up, you parking, you communicating, you loading, unloading, and the time you can't get back. And hourly, that's not for everything, but it's perfect for grocery shopping, pharmacy and waiting, post office and returns, check-ins, anything with unknown wait time, and anything with multiple stops. A clean starting point in most markets, $35 to $45 an hour for car and SUV service, and $45 to $65 an hour for cargo vans. Heavy situations, hand loading, and bigger items. All right, so you're gonna need a local zone, so every quote doesn't feel like a debate. So for an example, your first 10 miles, that could be included. But anything after that, you charge 75 cents to $1.25 a mile. And that's also dependent on your city. If you're doing cargo van or courier work for longer runs, $1.75 to $2.50 per mile. That's the common lane when it comes to commercial or time-sensitive deliveries. And now listen to this. This is the part that makes you money. You're not choosing one pricing model forever. You're choosing the best model for the job. And I'm gonna show you exactly how. All right, so here's the rule that keeps you from messing this up. If the job can change while you're doing it, hourly wins. If the job is a straight shot from A to B, per mile or flat wins. If it's small and local and predictable, flat wins. That's it, no complicated math. Now let's make it real with 10 pricing examples. So example number 1, your quick pharmacy pickups. And here's the scenario. So it's one store, you got a short wait, 3 to 5 miles total, or anything under 10 miles. You charge $25 flat. That's your local zone. Sometimes these orders could take 10, 15 minutes and you only end up traveling 8, 9 miles in total. This is the service that people will repeat. Sometimes on these little quick pharmacy pickups, I do 6, 7 of these a day sometimes. So here's the scenario. Let's say you drive them to the store, you help them move through the aisles, you load the car up, you unload the items at their house, sit it on the counter. That's $40 an hour minimum. You're not just charging for deliveries at this point. You're their personal assistant. So here's the scenario. You got a pharmacy pickup, you got a post office run, plus you got one return. Your price, $30 to $40 an hour. Plus you charge for mileage at your local zone. So anything past 10 miles, even if it's calculated. So even if one stop is 4 miles, the next stop is 6 miles, and the third stop is 7 miles, you calculate anything over 10 miles and you charge your mileage rate. All right, so here's the scenario. You stop by for a quick visit, you may check the mail, do a small task, or just make sure that the client is good. Your price, $35 flat for 30 minutes, or you could charge $40 an hour with a 1 hour minimum. Again, this is powerful. This provides peace of mind, and families will pay for peace of mind. Scenario: you got 10 total miles. You going from their home to the clinic. You escort them in the clinic, and you get them checked in. Your price, $45 flat rate. Why? Because you're not a ride share. You helping and you assisting. You're not just dropping them off curbside and leaving them to fend for themselves. Scenario: 15-minute drive, a 1-hour wait, 15-minute drive back. Your price, $40 base rate plus $30 an hour wait time. Pricing example. So that's about $130 for an hour and a half of your time. And that also just depends on the wait time. If it's longer, you charge more. And you may ask why? Because this is where people lose time and money trying to be nice. You have to price your structure, value your time, and value your service. So here's the scenario. Let's say you taking them to an eye doctor appointment. You taking them to visit some type of specialist. With that, it's going to be a lot of paperwork, a slower pace, and it could take up to 3 hours. I'm charging $40 base plus $35 an hour after my arrival. That usually land me around $140 to $160, just depending on the wait time. And yes, families pay this because they can't leave work, they can't stop doing what they're doing, and they need their loved ones to be accompanied by a reliable escort. Scenario: you got one pickup, one drop off, light loading help. Your price, $95 base plus $1.75 a mile after your local zone. Why? Because bigger vehicles mean bigger overheads, so you price it like a business. Here's the scenario. You get that message, I need help today, ASAP. Your pricing, you do your normal base pricing, plus you add an additional $20 to $35 for the rush fee. And why? You saving them from a crisis. Your time, your convenience, it costs. Now pricing is only half the game. The other half is protecting yourself so you don't get stuck in confusion. I don't care if you're using job form, a text message, or a Google Doc. Before a job is considered booked, you want 3 things confirmed. 1, the scope of service. What exactly are we doing? 2, the spending limits. What's approved before checkout? And 3, the payment expectation. How am I getting paid and when? And I use a simple, plain language to get this across to my customers. I start out with, my rate is based on time and distance, and I always confirm the total before I move. And that one sentence, it changes the tone. It tells the customer that I'm organized, that I'm professional, and they're not hiring someone random. And here's one detail that could save you from getting burnt on errands. Always ask, what's the approved spending limits before I check out? If there's no limit, there's no trip. And that's not because you're being difficult, but because people, they add items, they get distracted, they forget, and you stuck at the register looking crazy. Using these rules, they help keep your business running clean. So let me remind you of what you're actually selling. You're not selling a ride, you're not selling grocery runs. You're selling reliability, you're selling trust, and you're selling your consistency. Adult children, they don't mind paying for this because they paying to stop worrying. And when your price is right and your structure is right, you don't need 100 clients. You need a few solid families that book you over and over and over again. And this is how you become a real local service business, not just some random gig worker. If you take nothing else from this video, take this. Don't price with your emotions. You got to price with a structure. Because whether you're running senior errands, building a local carrier business with a car, or if you're doing cargo van deliveries, your pricing determines whether you build a business or if you're just building stress. You're not charging for a ride. You're charging for reliability, protection, planning, and peace of mind. Drop a comment and tell me what you're driving right now. Either a car, a SUV, or a cargo van, and what city you in. If you want my copy and paste pricing agreement language and the booking template, that'll be over for the members only. Until next time, y'all stay safe, stay blessed, get to your hustle. Peace.